Coach's Corner is brought to you by Carillion Clinic Sports Medicine, getting you back in the game.
Welcome into another edition of the Carillion Clinic Coach's Corner. I'm Brian Gardner. He's Dan Bremner. And Dan, 4 out of a possible 6 points over the weekend. Not perfect, but pretty good. What'd you think?
Playing two very good teams in both in Huntsville and then 2 games home against Pensacola. So, you're always striving for that weekend sweep. Going into that last game, having 4 points already definitely helped. And with a shortened lineup, it was nice to come out with some points.
You mentioned the shortened lineup, and the thing I thought was the most impressive was Friday's game. After having the game in Huntsville on Thursday, come away with a hard-fought win, through the night come in and shut out a Pensacola team that got in a little bit earlier than we did.
Yeah, we played later in Huntsville, traveled longer getting home, and like I said, really banged up. We went through that game really with 4D. We were down to 8 healthy forwards, 9 were kind of in the lineup. So it was definitely a battle, and it was awesome to see our guys really rally to overcome a good Pensacola team.
You mentioned how banged up, and obviously Kyle Gonzalez did not play on Saturday. He's one of the ones who was sort of in the lineup on Friday. Missed Brad Riccardi those 2 games. I know we've got some guys who are kind of the walking wounded down there with all these injuries that kind of crop up at this point of the year. The injury situation, how difficult is this to manage right now?
Injuries are tough. I mean, there's a couple call-ups this weekend too. So the injury thing, it's bound to happen. It's a long season, 56 games. We've been pushing for a long time. With that slow start, we have to continue to push to kind of get ourselves into a better playoff picture. So it's expected. It's tough when they all pile up at the same time.
And that injury and call-up situation led to something kind of unique on Saturday, where it was a kind of a reunion with Colin Murray for one night only. Can you tell me how that happened?
Yeah. I mean, I knew Murray was living down in Charlotte now. It's only a few hours away, and we'd spoken through the summer and kind of almost joked about it a little bit here and there if there was ever a situation. And after that Friday game, seeing how banged up we were, I sent out a text just kind of throwing out there if he was interested, more kind of joking at the time, but he happened to be with a guy who plays D on a team with him down in Charlotte. So he brought up his buddy, Tyler Davis, and joined Colin to come up with us, and they both contributed to Saturday night.
And of course, now you got to try to figure out what's happening leading into next weekend. I imagine a very fluid situation here as we speak on this Monday.
Yeah, today was a bit of a maintenance day for the guys and for the staff to make sure to us kind of just take roll call and find out where exactly we're sitting with some of these guys. So we'll know more later through today, how many guys we're actually going to have that'll be back and healthy, maybe who will be back from call-up, we don't know. And go forward from there. Might have to fill a few roles heading into the weekend.
Well, we'll knock on wood that everybody's as healthy as possible. Dan, looking forward to next weekend. Thanks for joining us, Carillion Clinic Coach's Corner.
Thanks, Brian.